The Design Museum on Kensington High Street in London is one of the less well-known of the big museums. It has a single permanent gallery on designers, users and makers that is really quite small and cramped, but manages to fit an awful lot into that space. And it's an excellent place to play a game of, ooh, I used to own one of those, in a museum context. It works really hard to demonstrate to you how universal design is, from road signs to furniture, including sort of very obviously overly designed pieces, down to an IKEA stool or a pair of Crocs. It was fascinating going around following a group of secondary school children who saw everything in such a very different way to me, because they were half my age. The absolute excitement over seeing a real iMac in the flesh for the first time was quite wonderful to see, and also it showed me the extent to which I'm looking at it through the eyes of my own experience and what I find interesting or enjoyable. And perhaps this isn't a museum that's actually aimed at me, it might be aimed at other people. That's absolutely fine. But this isn't actually somewhere that people come to really for the permanent gallery. They come for the temporary displays, and it's got 4 temporary exhibition spaces. 2 for big paid exhibitions, and then there's 2 spaces for free smaller exhibitions. They change very regularly, so it's always worth popping in to have a look at those. This is a museum that is very aware of its ethical underpinnings and the messages that it's trying to put across. A lot of the temporary exhibitions have elements around sustainability and how design work can become better for the planet, or at least less damaging. At the moment there's an exhibition on clothing of tomorrow and fashion, which considers ways in which AI technology, for example, can limit the amount of textile waste in the fashion industry. And it's quite nice seeing a relatively big museum like this take on such a strong ethical standpoint and have that as a really fundamental part of its DNA. I would say it's definitely a museum worth coming to, but choose a time when there's an exhibition that you want to see, and then look at the rest of the museum as a corollary to that.